Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman issue 266. This is from the 1940 series and this issue came out in 1975. Now this story is called The Curious Case of the Catwoman's Coincidences. Story by Denny O'Neil, art by Irv Novick and Dick Giordano, edited by Julius Schwartz. A mysterious fortune teller tells Bruce Wayne that he is going to encounter a bunch of coincidences, which is weird because he's on a train that's transporting a bunch of criminals. And he's there for a reason, because he suspects there's going to be an attempt to escape because this train has the Catwoman on it. And sure enough, a bizarre series of events leads to a train derailment and the prisoners take a run for it. Batman has to stop them and he has to choose between Catwoman and a guy known as Crusher Baines. Well, Crusher Baines has killed 5 people and Catwoman has killed none, so he goes after Crusher and ends up in a pretty rough fight. Gets his ribs all bruised up, but in that time, Catwoman, who was dazed from the accident, happens across Rudy Stern, who used to be one of her henchmen, and they get the old gang back together in Gotham, and that leads them to robbing the elderly rich people of Gotham. Batman is about to have none of that, so he goes undercover as Bertha Carrington Bridgewater. So we get to see Batman in drag for a second, and then he uses that as an excuse to lure in some criminals. One of them is a small-time petty criminal, but he also notices a Siamese cat that seems to be stealing jewelry. And some more coincidences occur, leading Batman to the hideout of the bad guys, where he has to fight some ocelots as well as some thugs, and the story comes to a conclusion with an apprehension. It's a nice, concise, one-shot story that's well contained within itself, doesn't take itself too seriously. The art is fantastic, I had no issue with that. Some great 70s Batman art, as well as a fun story. So it really came together quite nicely. This era of Batman was aimed at a younger audience, but is easily accessible by anyone. There's enough action for younger readers, and a decent story for older readers. And this was around the time that DC was trying to grow up, and aimed more at high school and college age kids. So I think it was a fun book. I'm glad I pulled it out of a dollar bin. My copy's a little beat up, but these aren't worth a whole lot. So pretty easy to track these down at a fairly reasonable cost, especially considering the price of new books that are far inferior on story. So I'm definitely going to recommend this. It's not going to be a classic or anything, but it was a fun read, and it was good old-fashioned comic book storytelling that could reach all ages. So I highly recommend checking it out if you get a chance. This is probably one that won't be reprinted outside of like an omnibus of some kind, but it's definitely worth a look, and it's far superior to pretty much anything on the stands today, so I would say give it a shot. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.